thank you once again for being with us. I want to thank you very much for watching us, for subscribing to Hope Channel Uganda. We are really grateful, and we pray that the Almighty God blesses you in whatever thing you're doing, whatever thing you lay your hands on. Every morning, waking up early in the morning, going to work, hustling, ensuring that your family is thriving, for the prosperity of your family members, for the prosperity of the church, for the people around you. We pray that the Almighty God blesses you, and we are here to ensure that you learn, to ensure that you know that there is this information. If it can help you, we thank God. If you can put it into implementation, then that will be the best for sure, because when you are well, we are well as well. Once again, I want to appreciate our guest of today, Ms. Charlotte NINSIIMA. I want to thank you for the insightful presentation, for the sharing of your knowledge with the people that are watching you. May the Almighty God bless you abundantly.
Amen. Thank you.
Well, how do you budget and manage your expenses effectively?
Budgeting. Something so interesting. How much budget? Before the year starts, you see how we always have our prayer intentions before we start a year? Likewise, I sit down and of course assess how my year has been, the kind of incomes I've been getting, the kind of expenditures I've also been incurring, but also I anticipate. Am I hoping for new monies coming through? Have I added on myself something that will help me get more incomes? But also, of course, as we grow, responsibilities also increase. Am I thinking or planning of actually making more expenditures that I've been doing? All this, I put it on paper. And periodically, of course, it is an annual thing, but also I make sure it's monthly. And so every time this money comes in, the money I plan that I would actually receive, every time it comes in, I go back to my drawing board, look at it and say, okay, what is it that I needed to spend on? I spend whatever I planned out to do. So it is really rare for me to start doing things that are not planned to do, because that will constrain me. In the meantime, that's how you find you're getting debts, simply because you have not planned. True. As John says, Charlotte, let's go out. Before you know it, you're in the need, but are you going to pay for that? Where are you picking that money that you had not thought about? So an important something for you to actually have plans prior, not really getting out there and you do things simply because I've told you about them. So for me, budgeting is you having that yearly plan, following it up monthly and on a daily basis.
But then there are emergencies, for sure, because sometimes we make plans, but then things along the way changes. You find maybe I have made a plan for the whole year, and this is what I'm really going to follow for the next year, or maybe the year that has just begun. By the end of the day, tables turn like this, and everything I've planned for the whole year, I need to maybe rewind and do another plan.
That is so true. Of course, in your budgeting, maybe what I did not mention was that you will put incomes, you will put savings, you will put whatever it is that you want to do. So as you are saving, whereas you're going to have saving for long-term stuff and also short-term things, then put money aside for emergencies. Because we know that, you will not plan that I should be going for a wedding. Before you know it, you're caught at a friend's wedding and you will not miss their wedding. You will not plan that John is going to give birth. And before you know it, she gives birth and you need to attempt this. So that's why it is actually very key that you put aside money for emergencies, and only when it is an emergency, something that you did not really expect, should you actually pick this money. And all this, actually you put it on a plan. That is the whole bigger picture of what a budget is. You have the mini budgets, the small things, put them into a master budget, and all this looks at your incomes, looks at where you plan to invest, where you plan to save, how you plan to do it, and also the different things that you think you will spend on.
Well, talking about planning and budgeting, there are sometimes when you go to the market and you have your list for sure, things you're going to buy, but at the end of the day, you buy things that are really not on your budget.
I think it really comes back to discipline.
True.
Because you will choose to buy what you had not planned out to buy, and you end up failing to buy an essential. So you need to weigh between wants and needs. What is so necessary? And what is that you can live without? If honestly you go out to the market and you find that this other thing is so essential that, well, you could probably live without it, well, go back and you go ahead and buy it, but that means you're going to cut on the things you had planned to do.
True.
Yes, so assess and look at the wants versus the needs. But also, I think at one moment when we were speaking, you talked about the 50-30-20 rule. So here, we are meant to be planning, of course, put money aside for expenditures, fixed expenditures, put money aside for savings, and put money aside for wants. So go to your 20%, 30%, and pick part of that money for your wants. But as whatever it is that you are doing, do it according to your plans. And this is really more of a guide. This is really more of a, to just help you, to help you also refer back your progress, to monitor your progress. There are those times when you really are not going to work according to it, but imagine you did not have it, what more would actually happen? It would be worse. So whereas it can sometimes be one that restricts you, you can make the small adjustments as long as they are within your means. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. So, what saving strategies have worked best for you?
Yep, I cannot fail to mention unit trust. I am not making an investment for unit trust, but yes, friends, this unit trusts work. We are working, I am working. I said I'm at Macquarie Business School, I'm at Ikoka, East Africa. But also in this whole thing, it's not like I'm teaching, I'm just teaching, I'm researching a number of things. And so it sometimes becomes hard for me to get out there and start being at the shop, for example, for 24 hours. It's not possible for me. So you put money somewhere and the money starts working for you. It's not just kept, no. There is that percentage. It might not be so much at the start, but that compounding interest makes it much in the long run. But also why I would say unit trust is the fact that also you cannot easily get the money, like in the sense that I want 20,000 right now and I get it immediately. It takes about 24 hours, but also thinking about the process of filling forms. Sometimes you say, okay, let me leave this money there. But also, it's some money that you can actually, if you really got, if you had planned to, that this money was meant for this purpose, then you can actually access it and you carry out this purpose. So, unit trust is one thing I recommend. But also, I mean, you have your good money and you want to invest long-term government securities. Yeah. Actually, for them, they have a higher return. And for every person, they would want more profits, higher return. So I would ask you to go for government securities bonds. Yeah, and also, of course, there are stock, equity, shares. You can go, I mean, a number of times, MTN has come out and say, we are selling of shares, Airtel. Go out, but first look at what company it really is before you actually invest in it. But also, I think lately, back in Puerto, of course, it's a season for coffee in Saranda, and we were of course harvesting coffee, and so I sent money home. I told Mom, I on what you're having and buy coffee, which we shall, of course, at a later moment add value to it, and we get more money. We get money from it. So as much as you can have those long-term savings, also have those side hustles that will bring in money after a month. After a season, you will have some good profit, and yeah, life moves on.
Very true. I think you're really learning a lot from our guest today. I just pray that some lady outside there, some gentleman outside there is really impacted from our discussion. Please learn and implement. That is what makes a difference in our sharings and discussions that we always have. So, Ms. Charlotte, how should women approach investing for long-term wealth?
As you look out for this long-term wealth, one that I would have to first mention, of course, have the knowledge. Have the knowledge. What are they really about? You know, there's a number of investments that, on the look of things, they look so beautiful, they're so enticing, but as much as you do not have knowledge about this, you're going to make mistakes, or you're going to have so much expectations which will not be hit, and you'll feel bad. You will not realize the freedom we're talking about today. But also, when it comes to long term, I would really advise that you seek out for a financial advisor. People have studied for years to ensure they give you a service that is going to help you and the generations to come. So why would you come out there and just do things on your own without the prior knowledge, because things change. There are a number of dynamics here and there, and so it's very important to get a person who is so an expert in the area in which you're going to invest in, so that they really help you to do the right thing and at the right time. So I think for me, it's really more of having the knowledge, but also seeking out mentors, seeking out people who are experts at the things we want to do. But I also imagine in the world we are in, the things we are trying to do, people have done them before, and they've done them so successfully.
Yeah.
So how about we look out for these people? And meanwhile, the successful people are not so mean with their knowledge. It's these mediocres that surely won't show that they have made it, and yet there is still a gap. So look out for the people that have made it and ask them, chat with them, let them guide you. And of course, also as you all do this, diversify. If you get a loss in one area, at least the other you will get a profit. So do not say, for me, I am going with government securities. No, try out other arenas, try out other ventures. Yeah, that's what I would advise someone out there who would want to get into long-term investments.
Okay, so if it's like, for example, a lady or maybe a working mother, and it may be difficult for her, to go into those government investments that we've been talking about, and we'd love to make it simple but very effective. Is there any other way? Because if some people don't know this knowledge for government investments or unit trusts, but they think that maybe I would buy land, put my maybe farming, I do farming on it, or maybe I build a house, put my rentals there. So how can you bring in all that? How can you help these parents that maybe not knowing this knowledge, but who know other ways apart from investing in government, apart from investing in unit trust? Because some people really don't know this knowledge, but they know maybe I would buy land and put this, I would do farming, like that.
Yeah, they do not know it, but they're knowing it.
True.
But also really, if you went to finance, you'd find these majorly ones, and also of course, it's not bad that I had not mentioned real estate, but it's mentioned real estate, and of course here you're looking at buildings, you're looking at land, you're looking at investment really in property, but also looking at these securities and then stock. There are majorly three really: stock, government securities, stock, and then also real estate. So yes, it's really one's choice. We are not saying that we are not advocating for interest, we are not advocating for government. So, but what we are advocating for is that go out there, find your passion, assess what it is you want to do. Seek a person who has been in that area before. Let them guide you. If it is land, property and buildings, well and good. If that's where you can get the money. And also, of course, this come with the fact that most of these are so passive. You can do other things that will bring in money. I think that's why the concept of multiple income streams come in, as this just bring in the money. So these three things, choose whichever you want really. Whichever you want will actually bring you the return. But of course, us learning on a daily basis and seeking out for those experts really helps us, because you'll find that you would rather invest, for example, in securities than buy land in a place that does not attract people. So it is not really actually about buying land, about investing in buildings. Where are you investing it? But also you realize that I would rather go to buildings than go to where? To securities, because of the kind of return they will get. So all this is really around how much you know and how much you're willing to know, the passion, but also the people you are surrounding yourself with, the people that have knowledge. Are you looking out for them, or you want to do things yourself? Yeah.
Okay, that's really insightful. So what financial challenges did you face on your journey to independence? Along the way, there are always challenges, I believe.
Yes.
You plan, and maybe something comes up like, let me just withdraw this money, go put it. And there's this saying that we live once, So what financial challenges have you faced along?
The financial challenges I'm actually facing. Let's put it right. The challenges I'm facing in this journey, because it's quite a long journey, and yet I'm confident I'll get there. One, dependence. As a person, there is too much levels of dependence from family, from people around me. You know, when people know that you're in a certain position, somehow they associate that position with much money. Which money is that? I am not saying MUBS, there is no money in MUBS, but I mean, even if it were there, it's not money enough to cater for everyone's needs.
I get
but
it.
somehow when you're in a certain position, everyone, the whole community where you come from, family, even the people you started with, somehow think that you are so rich, which is not the case. So you are striving to be on a journey of independence, but the level of dependence is just too much.
True.
Yeah, and also there is losses. Of course, we have talked about a number of ventures in which we can put in our money. Imagine you have your money and invest in real estate, but clients are not coming through. And over a long period of time, you start your side hustle, but you don't have customers, or you get even losses.
Yeah,
Imagine that woman out there. She's dealing in perishable goods. She has her greens, tomatoes, this rain. Let it rain so much, and you don't have the right storage facilities. Before you know it, you lose your capital. So those challenges are really there, but you just need to get yourself together and look at the vision. Just trust the process, but hold the vision. Yeah. So challenges are going to be there. Losses, then the levels of dependency, but also not having sufficient knowledge. I think this is very key. Also in discipline. Like you said, you're going to maybe a supermarket or you go in a boutique and you just want to buy whichever beautiful cloth you have seen. Madam, gentlemen, you did not want to buy this, but also do your income stream support this? So for me, there are quite many challenges, but then it gets back to you. Do you really know where you are going? Have a vision, hold that vision, and trust the process.
Well, I could give an example. There is a woman I know. He started his side hustle business, but the people he was surrounding herself with, be it the workers she brought for her to help her in running the business. Along the way, these people just stole like a small capital and ran. They took everything.
It is very sad. Of course, that is so sad, but it is very important that we build up systems. Okay? Because of course, you'd ask me now, surely, that there's a person who has a small stall, really need maybe accounting systems or so. But as one who is really out there, maybe in a car market, whichever market it is, and you have your small business, even if you are not in position to invest in these maybe QuickBooks, these big systems, but have your book in place. Put down every sale, write it down. Every purchase you have made, write it down. And over time, as a boss, you need to supervise these people. You can trust people, you can work with people over time, but it's very important that you actually supervise on a daily basis. And after that, well, you cannot have this system, but at least know that you should not be keeping money in a business for a full week. You are making sales and you want to take the money in a bank after a week, you are compelling them to steal this money. So, whereas it can be hard to know the hearts of people, but also let's put measures in place to help us eliminate or minimize these challenges. That you have a record of whatever is taking place, but also the returns you are getting, find a safer place in which you can put them. That's a simple advice I would give.
Very true. Thank you. How did you overcome the financial setbacks or the debts or the dependency you've been talking about?
So this high level of dependence requires me to have a number of income streams. Yes, it really does. Yeah. And how do I do this? It is time for me, of course I'm doing it already, but for me to get as much knowledge, as much skills, because you having skills then helps you to get these opportunities.
Oh yeah.
I mean, opportunities are always there, but if you don't have the skill to supply or serve these opportunities, then you lose it. That's why they always say that, what do they always say? That opportunities are always ready for those who are prepared. So if you're not prepared, it will lose you. So these high levels of dependence, I just have to equip myself with a number of skills and skills that are employable. Not all skills are employable. Get out there into the market. Ask yourself, what is it that is so training, or what is it that people need for them to live? What are those essentials? Equip yourself with that skill, then opportunities will come. But also, now for losses, I think you don't have to put all eggs in one basket, because if this basket falls down,
then you're done.
You're done.
True.
Look for different avenues where you can put your money, so that in case there is a challenging one, at least in another.
Imagine COVID-19, someone who had put all his, hopes in one thing. Where are they now? Where could they be?
At that moment, of course, there's someone I imagine they have stood up by the grace of God. I imagine that they're no longer in this situation, but it was so challenging meanwhile,
Sure.
because for majority probably they were looking at a job, because they're bread, and for most you find you're breadwinner of your family, of the people with whom you grew, and then there's this job is no longer there. So the people actually suffered. We suffered. Yes, as a student, we probably suffered because the people have been giving you income and no longer giving you. So you really diversifying, you putting monies in different areas helps you to minimize the risk. It really does. Yeah.
Okay, that's really beautiful. Thank you. What advice do you have for women to feel financially stuck? There are those women that be like, I can't really do anything. Those people that are already down, like they feel their world really ended financially. Those people that feel like no matter what I do, the business I do, it just backfires. What advice would you give to those women outside there that are watching us that are financially stuck?
Dear lady, dear woman, it's never over until it's actually over. Like, start where you are. You can have the 1,000. That they leave you some money on the table. We are just imagining this woman has no income stream whatsoever, and they're just dependent. They're just dependent on the people around them. Maybe it could be their family, it could be their husband. Whichever small money they are giving you to buy food. As a woman, if they have asked you to buy meat twice in a week, why aren't you going for greens? Greens are healthy.
If probably, you're saying if they leave money on the table, if they're really leaving the money.
That's if they're actually leaving the money. But be outgoing. You see, also sometimes, I'm not saying majority do, but some of us who look at jobs and they think these kind of jobs I cannot do. So if you're in that situation, then you should not be the kind that cannot do any job. Do not look at the blue collar jobs, can I say the dirtiness that comes with this job if I must do this one. Whichever thing you are able to do and it brings some money on the table, go do it. As long as it's within God. Do not go out there and start prostitution simply because it's bringing money. No. We are not advocating for bad behaviors. We are saying that if it's really does not really, it is pleasing to God, then go ahead and look for money.
As long as it brings food on the table.
As long as it brings food on the table.
No. Nowadays, people, my God, what are they going to think of me? What are people going to say? They see me sweeping. They see me hawking. Ladies of nowadays, my dear, they have so luxury, true. My so sister.
True, but I don't have kind words for such a person. If you are looking at what people are perceiving of you, then already you just need to realize who you are. There is need for self-awareness and for you to renew your life, first of all. Renew your mindset. Because then you will continue to be continuously be financially abused, because you cannot do even that so-called dirty work, but it's actually not dirty. It just takes about 30 minutes, for example. You clean. There are these cleaning services. By the way, it does not even have to be dirty. I think you have seen people who have cleaning companies. Oh my, I do not know how much money these people earn. Like, you don't have to sit in office. Go out there, give a service that people need. People are going out to work and they don't have people to clean for them. Even if they had maybe house helps, these people are not doing it so right well. Go out there and start such businesses. Of course, there's quite a number of them that you could start. So start small, start where you are. Use your skills. I think those days back, people used to weave. Unfortunately, we have lost the tradition, but find the simplest skill that you can do. There are this, you have talked about projects, but I love this project. We had it in secondary when I was still at Merrill, and we were doing mushrooms in 1 month, for crying out loud. And you already have some money. But also, you see there are some things that people will not stop eating. Greens. And we are talking to this lady out there who is really, like, they are totally stuck on that. Maybe probably they're even in the village, because even can you be able to sustain yourself in Kampala, all these towns? Probably not. Have the smallest garden you can have. Have eggplants in there, have onions in there, like, start where you are. Use the space that you have to make an income. If it means doing something, as long as it does not go away from what God requires us to do, do it if it brings in money. The other big opportunities will see that person who is resilient, that person that person who really is outgoing. Those are the people actually that are needed in this world now. Because it does not really matter what you have studied. What matters now is what soft skills do you have, and you can actually build this through even those hardships. Maybe it's time for you to be out there in the world and show people that you can do something, and they will keep up. They will pick you up for a better thing. They probably go back to the Bible. Even the one who hid their coin, their dinner, God took it away. So don't be the kind of person for whom God is going to take out the smallest thing you have. Instead, use that small thing and God will even give you more.
So what advice would you give to that single lady outside there, that single mother who is financially stuck?
Start right where you are. It does not matter the situation you are in. Start where you are and look out for people. You already are stuck, but you also want to be lonely. It doesn't add up. Reach out there.
People are not there. People don't want to listen. People are busy.
Yes, people are busy, but
they don't want to know.
You see,
for God and my family.
I think we have to go back to the Bible, that the one who was so persistent that you cannot knock on the door for 24 hours and this person will not open. They will not open because they want to help you. This person will open because they are actually tired of you knocking. And yes, it is in the Bible.
Very true.
It is in the Bible.
Very true.
So be resilient.
True.
Even if people do not stand up, but continue to show them that you're interested. They might not do it because you want it, but eventually, because maybe you're inconveniencing them, they will do it and they will help you.
True.
So yeah, whereas people are not ready available, you just have to get out there and look for them, really. Yeah, you have to. But start from where you are and have hope, have confidence that actually something can work out. Because I think also this really comes to mindset. If you're not able to tell yourself that I can do it, or asking yourself like, how do I do this? And all you're telling yourself is that I am dead, then you will be dead. Whatever things we speak of our lives actually come to our lives. If you speak more of worry, you are attracting more worry, it will come to you. If you speak more of opportunities, you are attracting more opportunities. So
yeah,
the more you prophesy things, even when you are not realizing them at that moment, you are actually attracting them. And somehow your eyes will be open before you know it. You have where to start.
Very true. So how can women develop a strong financial mindset? Now there are some people who totally believe that for them God does not listen to their prayers. They say, me, whenever I pray, I think God is very far to pick my phone call to answer my prayers. So how do you advise such kind of women?
You know, it's also even challenging to advise such a woman, because it starts right with you.
The mindset.
It starts with you. You know, we can give you as much as information. We can tell you as much as we need to do. But if you don't sit yourself down and say, Charlotte, I can get out of this. Charlotte, I can do this. Charlotte, there are a number of opportunities out there. They're just waiting for me to be ready for them. And grab them. It's only then that you will get out and start over this journey. So for me, it's asking you to really try as much as you can and to tell yourself that I can actually do it, that I will do it, that I have been blessed, that each one of us, if it is really true that we believe that we are created in God's image, God is so loving. God cannot abandon us if this is the gospel we are preaching. Then we need to actually perceive of this and look at ourselves as children or heirs of the kingdom of God, which is filled with abundance. And if so, then we can start all over again. So it really starts with you as a person, but also, of course, have mentors. Have a person that you can talk to. Have that person that you're accountable to. That even when you feel stuck, when you feel things are not moving, I will go to John and tell her, like, John, hear me out. Even when they might not give you solutions at that moment, them listening to you, it is enough, and it will be a point of reflection.
True.
It gets you back to thinking, okay, what do I do now? How do I do this? So mindset, you just have to think that everything is going to work out for your good. Like, things work for good for those who love God and, of course, who obey his commandments. I mean, it is very said, and I think I don't think, but it's actually true, that whichever solutions we are looking for are all in the Bible. Because you see, when we begin speaking in relation to this, you find that whatever there is, actually, there is a solution for it. So start where you are, but also tell yourself that you can actually do it, but also you're created in God's image, and so if you are created in God's image, this kingdom which is filled with abundance, then you also will take share in this abundance. But also have one person you can always reach out to, that if you talk to them, they will hear you out and give you reason enough to move on again.
Well, I think also for everyone that is watching us, wherever you are, just know that there is an assurer, and that is called Jesus Christ himself. He said that, I know the plans I have for you. If he says that he knows the plans he has for me, if it rains today, I know tomorrow it will shine. If I don't get today, tomorrow I will get. If today it was a bad day, tomorrow it will be a good day. For that assurance, and now it should help you change your mindset to positivity. Obviously, challenges are not going to fail to come.
Yeah, when you talk about that, you remind me of something. One preacher was saying to us that God has beautiful plans for us, but we have now also had plans for ourselves. There is what God planned that we be and what we have become. So it's actually important that we ask him for the grace to align us into his plans, because there are two different people. God created you to be Joan, and before you know it, you're Joey. Friends, it can be interesting. True. So you're talking about that.
Actually, Jojo.
Jojo. So I think as we speak all of this, of course we have to acknowledge that there is that ultimate power that we always can run to. That yes, people are out here to help us, but one ultimate power that can always come through for us. We just have to open our hearts, right, and seek him wholeheartedly, and he will realign us. Yeah.
Well, I also liked the part that you said, having people around you. There are some people like you befriend, or some people you bring into your circle that they're really negative thinkers. They always think in negativity. When you try to bring an idea, they'll be like, this one wants to bypass us. You try to bring this one, they feel like they are bad energy. So when in your circle, you want to change your financial mindset, you need to bring to yourself to people that are really grooming you, people that you look up to, people that inspire you, people that motivate you. At the end of the day, if these friends yourself themselves see what you're doing, they'll get inspired. How is this girl doing it? How is she? I think along the journey, you've seen such a people that used to say, Charlotte, I don't think you'll ever be there. I don't think, Charlotte, you ever do that. But you shock them.
Yeah, and being on the topic of mindset, yes, you can have people around you, but you need to know what you want. These people are just guiding you, not being the ultimate decision makers of your life. So pick out the information you need. Whatever you do not need, leave it out there. Otherwise, if you're moving or doing things according to their thinking, then you will lose it. But also, like we said initially, whichever people you're around, they're the kind of people that will attract you. That if you're around people who have made it, you will be the next person to make it. Because probably you're observing what they do, you're thinking the way they try to think. And so if you're negative thinkers, run for your life. And also, I think also not to mention that if you also find yourself in a space where you are the best you're in a wrong press. You are in a very long press. So not that you should be the worst always, but have people who are better than you. It is said that there is always someone better than us, and so we should not always be the ones who want to be the kings and queens of our groups. No. Also, be ready to learn, be willing to learn. Well, even the dull and the wise have something to say. Yeah.
Well, there's this saying that show me your friend and tell who you are.
Yeah.
In most cases, well, we'll never have, like, be in a group whereby everyone has it all, and there will be people that will always be looking up to us. And yes, it doesn't mean that we leave them out, because we are the voices of that group. There are people that look up to and be like, I would love to be like Charlotte. You know, I also said, or you talked about this, that you have to be with people that are successful. Do you know that moving with successful people doesn't make you successful?
That is very true. What actually makes you successful is that you getting habits like successful people have and implementing in their lives. Of course, we're not saying just be surrounded by wise people and you will be wise. It means that you will do what it takes to be wise. You are there not just move with them and do what, but you are there to do things like they are doing, or even better things. So it's not enough for you to just be with them, but are the habits you are portraying, the habits of people that are wise, the people that are actually rich. But also, of course, I understand when you say that we have to be in a no-round kind of group. It is also saying in the Bible where that God has gifted us so uniquely. We all have different gifts, and so each one of us will bring into our uniqueness to help us be better people. But also say that, okay, if that is the case and in relation to the topic we are in today, then if you have passion in a certain area and your friend has it, get out there and see what they're doing. Go and in different people looking at what they're doing, and you'll be successful. So it's just not enough to be there, but the habits, the activities you are doing, you're portraying, are they the kinds that will lead you there, that will make you wise or rich?
For example, if I have a friend and he's a big spender, and she or he is my friend, but I know in myself that I'm not okay financially, they take you to this expensive restaurant, and they'll be like, Charlotte, you're still going to contribute part of this. Are you getting me?
In the first place, I will ask you where we are going. Yeah. And it is very sad, not really to
because during my campus, I had such kind of group, and you move with people that are very successful. They don't worry about money. Just, don't I need this money? And they just say, go with the draw, go do that.
Know your limits. Know your limits.
Exactly.
Know your means.
That's where it comes from.
Do not live a life. I mean, actually, do not live as people are living, because people are eating their fruits, and you have the trees, the roots that you are planting. You cannot you cannot want to eat your roots with people who are eating their fruits. So you just need to know your means.
Exactly.
If you are earning 20,000, you need to know that I have to spend 20,000 and actually spend 15,000, because you need to put 5,000 for saving. So things of being in groups and people are having their fruits, and then for you want to eat your roots, my goodness, just know yourself and know where you're going, and live within your means.
That's why most of the girls have really gotten it wrong. That
it's unfortunate, but we pray that if they're watching this, or if a friend really has seen this, can actually go out there and inform them really. We wish so that we can be our brothers and sisters keeper.
Very true. So what role does confidence play in financial independence?
Confidence breeds resilience. One who is confident will be outgoing. A person who is confident, even when they are stuck, even when things are not moving as they should move, will get out there and keep moving. So to me, confidence really helps you to be resilient. Confidence helps you to seek for opportunities. Confidence helps you to build social capital, because also in this journey of financial freedom, you need people that are going to help you and to work hand in hand with you to help you get there. So confidence helps you to be the kind that even when things are not moving right, you will still be in spaces where you believe that things will be okay. That's the role of confidence in all this whole journey.
So every woman, every lady that is watching us from Hope Channel Uganda, we want to encourage you and want to let you know that you need to have the confidence
To believe in yourself.
Believe in yourself that all will be well. Believe that you are a conqueror. Believe that you can make it no matter what. It may be tough, but at the end of the day, you'll be able to cross the tunnel, I believe. So believe in yourself. Having confidence, there is a way how it helps you, even if you be able to attract, because the way you brand yourself, there's always say that
class attracts class.
Class attracts class. That is very, very important. If you're not confident, you'll be the one who's going to be running errands. But if you're confident in yourself, no one will do that. They'll be knowing that this person we are is, above that. Come on, girl, whoever is watching from Hope Channel Uganda, whoever is listening to Charlotte, the insights that she's sharing with us, please learn. Be confident. Believe in yourself. Love yourself. And add value to yourself. It will make you unique, and surely it will distinguish you.
Yes, believe that you can, and indeed you will do it.
True. What are some common money mistakes women should avoid?
Money mistakes?
Yeah.
Stop spending because other people are spending. You're spending their money. It's not your money. Stop spending because other people are spending. But also, have a plan. Have a plan of whatever kind of life you want to have and how you will have that life. So, but also in this whole journey of financial independence, have someone that you're accountable to, someone that will help you check your habits. Planning to do things is one thing and doing them is another. But when you know that I am accountable to this person, that they're going to help me do certain things or check my habits, it helps you to keep going. So plan, but also in your planning, ensure that you have someone that will remind you of the bad habits and of the things that you need to do and that you need not to do. Yeah.
Okay. So what financial lessons have you learned that every woman should know?
Every woman out there should know that as a woman, you do not have to solely depend on other people. That you yourself can actually have choices, and choices you have control over. That with this kind of independency, the financial freedom we're talking about, it just helps you to be the kind of woman, to live the kind of life that you want to live toxic situations. And for me, so it's very key that as a woman, you save, but save smart. You cannot be everywhere, so build up systems. Put money where it will work for you. Do not so much work for money. No, be at a point where money will start working for you. Actually, you should work hard so that money, eventually you get to a point where money is working for you. So be consistent, let money work for you, and also have a plan. But also, in whatever it is that you're doing, make sure that you are so consistent, committed, and self-disciplined. Don't do things because people expect you to do them. Do things because you must do them, and they benefit you and the people around you.
So what are your tips or 3 tips that you can leave for women who want to become financially independent? Those 3 things you think that a woman who is outside there should really know or have on their fingertips.
If you're a woman out there and you have to be financially independent, have multiple income streams, have knowledge of what you're doing, but also have people that are experts in this field. You cannot do it on your own. No man is an island. So have people who have been there before you so that it will make work easy for you. But also plan and move according to that plan.
What is that one last message someone should really not miss out if they didn't come with us from the beginning, but they would love to hear this one last message that they can take home? What would it be?
Financial freedom starts right where you are. Get out of that comfort zone. Go out to do things as long as they're in line with what pleases God, and bring money on the table. But also learn ways of storing this money to an extent that this money will start working for you. That it can meet all the needs, it can meet all the emergencies. It is then that you will have financial stability. It is then that you will have financial flexibility. But it's then that the abundance will come through.
Well, thank you very much. Well, we want to thank and appreciate our dear viewers of Hope Channel Uganda. Just know that we love what you're doing and we want to thank you very much for subscribing to our channel. It's really a blessing that whenever you do that, we'll be able to bring such meaningful information that will help you become a better version of yourself to get this information, because information is power. When you know and you put it into implementation, that really makes a very big difference. So I want to thank you, want to appreciate you, want to thank you for being hardworking wherever you are. If you're a woman and you're there, you're making sure you have some money behind your pocket or in that bag. We want to appreciate you. Once again, I want to thank our dear guest, Miss Charlotte NINSIIMA. Thank you very much for coming. May the Almighty God bless you. Our dear viewers, continue watching us.